Hey guys, what's up? Jared here, Dex and Dice. This is take two, and I've only got roughly 30 minutes to do this, so I'm gonna kind of blow through some bullet points because the first video I didn't really like. I'll just put it that way. So, anyways, the point in this video is to reiterate some shit that I have talked about before on this channel. That you kind of got to be like Nike and just do it. You don't need $300,000 to start an LGS. Would it be nice? Sure, don't get me wrong. Like, by all means, it would be nice. Like, if you have those means, explore that. If you have a well-off wife who can just float you while you do this, by all means, do it. If you have stocks to sell to get the money, do it. If you have a, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year other job that can float an LGS while you then do it. You get my point. This is mainly for people who, like me, reached a point in their life to where they got tired of working for someone else and wanted to do it themselves. Wanted to be directly responsible for their well-being, directly see the output, for their effort. Who realistically just got old enough and was like, man, fuck this. Well, I'm a minute and 50 and I've already cussed. Ooh, look at that. Imagine that, huh? But anyways, who just got tired, man. And I think it's important for people to understand that you don't need $100,000, $200,000, $300,000. You don't need it. Is it nice? Yes. Let me preface it with, that's nice. If you can do it, by all means, do it. You'll have an easier time than I did. Again, I'm not talking to you if you are of the means to make that happen, okay? I have done videos like this before, and it's lost in the 260 other videos that I have done, and I guess it's time to do another one because I'm 5 years into this, and some of that stuff might be irrelevant now, out of date, whatever. I started this with 20K. I sold family land. I split the 20K, 10K for a buffer for stuff at the house, and 10K to start the shop. Plus my personal collection. I dumped everything I had into starting the shop. Yeah, I'm going to walk around and talk because I don't want to sit. So I apologize for the weird camera angles, the moving and all that. But yeah, so that's the general idea of how I started this shop, or how I got the resources to start the shop. And then like a year or two into it, my grandma died, and I got another $9,000 to work with. That's it. Okay, that's how I started the shop. I'm telling you this to let you know that even if you only have 30 or 40,000 to start the shop with, that's more than enough of what you need. Let me show you kind of what I'm talking about and kind of reassure you that you don't need to look like a corporate mess. I say mess, but sanitized, corporate, no personality whatsoever. There's no hint of you in the shop because you thought that you needed the black slat wall, the monotone colors, which, this place was already monotone colored when I moved in, so let me just say that. That stuff is great farther down the road, okay? I'm talking about if you just want to do this shit, see what happens, hope for the best, hold on, and let's see where it goes. Full transparency, you know, how do I say this without sounding a certain way and without sounding like a bitch at the same time? The numbers I'm about to give you are going to be laughable for a lot of you and not laughable for a lot of you, so I don't really know where to go with that. But after doing this for 5 years, finally kind of reached a point to where like I don't necessarily hate doing it as much as I did prior to. And hate is a bad, I guess, because everyone hates work. I don't care if you're doing this because you love it. It ends up being work. It ends up being a business. It ends up taxing you, okay? It wears on you. It does. Anyways, last year we grossed like $405,000 in like gross sales, and I profited 93 or 94,000 last year. And then, you know, of course, the accountant does accounting things and owner draws stuff you can write off and so forth and so forth. So, like, I didn't really make that, but I made that at the same... You kind of know what I'm saying. So, I'm not necessarily talking out of my ass with telling you this. It can be done. It is a struggle. Dear Lord, I wouldn't want anyone to start out like I did, but if you have to and you're just doing it as a Hail Mary thing like I did, just know that with enough fortitude, endurance, ambition, all that good stuff, you can do it. Let me just kind of turn the camera around. It's random stuff to just do a quick thing, like cases. Dude, you don't need to spend $1,200 on new cases right off the bat. Is it cool? Yes. Is it necessary? No. You can find these things on Facebook Marketplace pretty much readily for $100, $200, $300, $400, you know, $500 a piece, whatever. Still less than the $900 to $1,200 that you would spend brand new for, like, you know, $900 not put together, $1,200 or whatever put together when it arrives to you. Trust me, Facebook Marketplace is going to be your friend, especially starting out. Amazon is also going to be your friend starting out. I just found these, like, no kidding, like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I had completely forgotten that Amazon probably had cool stuff like this. I mean, you know, $30, and I have something to display some bulk in and just some cool little cheap, you know, Pokemon cards. Same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh! And same thing with Magic. Just cheap, staple-ish cards, you know. I mean, sure, Mental Misstep probably isn't like cheap, but I mean, it's like, it's $11. Like, come on. You know, $30 each, and you got something cool to display your stuff with. Cabinets, again, like I said, Facebook Marketplace. You can luck out like I did originally, and maybe be able to, like, find a business that's going under and buy out their stuff for cheap. Let's see. Oh, slat wall. You don't need slat wall. Guess what you can do? You can just buy pegboard. I don't know what it is around you, but around me, it's about $25 a sheet. And look, it's just pegboard. Okay? You frame it in, you line it up, you put little, you know, framework in there, you put the pegboard on top of the framework, and then you board it up. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, done. It's over with. Shelving is a bit expensive, obviously. It's about $20 roughly for a pegboard shelf. However, if you're lucky enough to be around a place where a GameStop is going under, these are literally GameStop shelves that fit in their slat wall, but they fit in the pegboard as well. If you don't have access to that, and you don't want to spend the $20 per shelf, because trust me, that adds up. Yes, it's a shop, guys. It's a functioning shop. It's going to be cluttered. What you can do is get yourself pegboard hooks. Now, they come in varying shapes and sizes, and I just grabbed what I could grab. It's a little weird, okay, but I learned this with retail. You can legit put them together, and you can lay stuff on top of the pegboard and display it that way. Is it weird looking? Yes. Does it get the job done? Yes. When you're first starting out and you don't have a lot of resources, you're working on a really super small, razor thin budget, trust me, you're gonna want to operate like an orc. Doesn't have to be beautiful, it has to function, okay? Your functionality is way more important than what something looks like at this point in time, starting out. Let's see, shelves. Everyone sees everyone with the nice big black industrial sized warehouse shelves. That's cool in the gang. You don't need those. $30-ish, $40-ish on Amazon. If you catch it on a sale, good. Sometimes the delivery will be free. I think it's like $15 to have multiple shelves delivered. Anyways, these things hold 250 pounds, which is more than enough that you'll need for anything, usually. And as you can see, they fit 5K boxes just fine. You can use it to inventory your dragon shields, like I have done, or your TCG inventory in general, or your other stuff, you know, just catch all, whatever. We'll say $50 a piece just for S's and G's. Boom. And you know what? You can buy multiple, cannibalize the shelves to get levels like I've done, and call it a day. Tables, super easy, guys. You can either go to Sam's Club, drop you know, $50, $60, or whatever it is for a 6-foot table. Find them on Facebook Marketplace. Generally, that's an 8-foot table. $50 there too. Like, tables, yes, it's cool if they match. It looks great if they match. They don't have to match, though. They just have to be functioning tables. Trust me, your community is not going to give a shit if your tables do not match. They're not. Same as your chairs. Find what you can find on Facebook Marketplace and go from there, okay? It's going to be expensive because you're going to need 20, 30, 40, 50 of them. And sometimes you can find them for $5 a piece. Sometimes you can find them for $10 a piece, and so forth and so forth. So, like, it's probably going to be one of your more expensive things that you can't really avoid. Again, Amazon, display cases. Is it professional and oh my God, it's the greatest thing ever? No. It's like $130 for 3 of them or whatever. And you just put enough 3M on the back of them to put them up on the wall. They're not going anywhere. You can display some singles like that. Boom, call it a day. Bookshelves. Like, for real, it's just self-explanatory. Bookshelves, $30, Walmart. Check it out. It does what bookshelves do. This one was my grandma's. I had it laying around, so I didn't pay for it. But look, bookshelf. Doing what it's supposed to do. It's holding my dollar rare binders. Like, you don't need to drop $40K in just aesthetics alone to start up an LGS, man. Like, this was a gas station find for $150, okay? I think I spent another $200 to have the guys come in and look at it, put, you know, coolant in it and make sure it was actually operating the way it should and everything. So $350, I have a bigger cooler, but you know what I had there before? a regular ass refrigerator. No one cared because it's kept the drinks cool. Did what it was supposed to do. Boom, done. Silver shelves again, holding the snacks. No one cares. Little area for, the microwave, the kettle to boil the water for the noodles and shit, coffee maker. Is it the greatest looking thing ever? No. But it works, and no one cares. And that's the important thing that you need to understand is that most of your community, most of the people that you're going to have coming to your shop, as long as your shop is fairly clean, it's a nice atmosphere, it's cool for people to come hang out, be themselves, you can joke with people, your prices are competitive, you're not a complete and total dick, so forth and so forth. They're not going to give a shit that you don't look like $1 million LGS ever. They're really not. So keep that in mind when you're starting out and you're just trying to chug along. Like, sure, you're gonna run into people who will say weird things about your store or whatever, like, if it was my store, it wouldn't look like that. I would look like... That's fine, congratulations, here's a fucking cookie. Your general attitude and outlook on things I probably don't want in my shop anyways, because you seem like you're an elitist snob kind of person. I like your money, but that's about as far as it goes realistically. So, if you never come back, nothing of value was really lost because you came here once, decided you didn't like the aesthetics, maybe bought something, and fucked right off and never came back. Meanwhile, the guys who come here constantly, like my shop and all that, they're gonna come here 7 times this week and make up for you not coming back. Okay? And that's something else you need to think about and realize when you're starting up an LGS is that you can't please everyone. You're not going to please everyone. And that's fine. Okay? That's fine. It's a thing. Just roll with it. What else am I maybe forgetting? So, important part about I've been open for 5 years. I have held a full-time job pretty much the first 3.5 years that this place was open on top of running this place. And then half of the other half of the 3.5 years to make 4 years was a part-time job on the weekends. Anyways, if you have to do that, that's fine. Your hours might be a little weird, which is fine. People will complain a little bit about it, but once you explain the scenario, 95% of people understand and just roll with it, especially if you just have a good shop, man. Like, that's something that you need to understand as well, more than what your shop looks like. It needs to be a generally good shop. You need to work with people. You need to be competitive with your prices. Everyone knows that. You need to not really be a dick, but you need to be a dick when it matters. As long as you're doing a good job, I'm sorry for the glare and everything. As long as you're doing a pretty good job at just running the place, you're going to be fine, okay? You got to treat it like a business, though. You can't just treat it like it's a place to hang out with your buddies and play games and maybe acquire stuff, for your own personal collection or that. If you're going to treat it like that, you are definitely 100% going to fail. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, like I said, while the way that I did it is not ideal, it's super, super hard. And I'm only just now kind of really being able to reap any benefits from doing it. I really probably wouldn't want it any other way. Has it been stressful? Yeah. Has it been like stroke inducing? Thankfully, not yet. You know, knock on wood. Yeah, here, knock on. Let's knock on wood. You couldn't see that. Anyways, has it triggered my anxiety? Yes, I have had way more panic attacks than normal just doing this, just because it's stressful. But mama ain't raised no bitch, you know? If you want to really do this, you're going to do it. You're going to find a way to do it. And just because you're sitting there thinking that you don't have $300,000 or $100,000 in the bank to do it is the sole reason why you're not doing it, that's probably not the sole reason why you're doing it. You're fucking scared. And rightfully so. But what do you know? What would you know about yourself if you didn't push your limits, if you didn't face your fears? You know, like, I was always raised to, like, I don't know, how do I put this? I was always raised to never be afraid of anything that is in the front of what you want to do. Now, has that backfired on me a lot in the past? Yeah, I have failed a lot. It's just just life. I have failed. But I've always gone after what I wanted. Use that like little advice to just start it, to just do it. Okay? It's okay to be scared about it. It's understandable. And I know you're probably thinking like, well, if I quit my job, I lose my insurance, my 401k, retirement. Let me lay this out for you, and this is probably mainly just for the single people or the people that only have like one kid or whatever. One, your 401k is bullshit. It really is. You can start your own 401k and contribute to it. And, you know, your job probably has you like 401k slave because they, you know, give you the 2% match or whatever. Anyways, you can start your own 401k and you can start a Roth IRA on top of that. And just throw in what you can when you can. Insurance. Probably the only thing that's arguably bad, but if you can afford it, you can always get your own insurance, or you can just be self-pay. If you're relatively healthy and all that good stuff, self-pay is not a terrible way to do it. You can ask anyone, lots of doctors everywhere. If you do self-pay, it's arguably cheaper than just trying to meet some arbitrary, you know, $7,000 deductible before they pay anything. So, you know, just really think about the perks that you're getting. Yeah, okay, sure, you'll lose out on holiday pay and overtime pay and blah, 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 but again, I go back to everything that I put into this, I see direct results from. If I need to make more money, I work harder and I actually see the results from that. So keep that in mind as well. But I think that's really about all that I've got, man. And I know there's going to be a bunch of people saying, oh, it's terrible advice, don't do it, blah, blah, blah. And realistically, in those scenarios, it's probably one of the two things. They're well off enough to where they don't need to worry about this shit. You know, it's it's laughable to them, or two, they're too fucking scared to do it themselves, and they're just projecting their own bitchness onto it, man. You never get anywhere being scared. You never get anywhere not taking risks. And I'm currently walking, talking, breathing, living proof of that. Okay, am I a millionaire? No. No, I'm not. Relatively comfortable? Arguably. But I'm a lot better off now than where I was last year or the year before that or the year before that. And that's because I have put the effort into all of this and I'm seeing direct results from it. So don't be scared, guys. Okay? Just start your shop or whatever you want to do. It doesn't have to be a shop like this. Just start it, man. You don't have to look like Starbucks. You don't have to look like Star City Games or anything, like I said. Keep the mindset of an orc. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It has to be functional. Okay? You can make aesthetic upgrades as you go. You know, the more money you get, the better you can look, kind of thing. But most people really just want a place to play that doesn't remind them of a dive bar. Decent prices, the ability to kind of like haggle a little bit like we will. Knowing that the shop owner and everyone who works for him aren't complete and total assholes, are pretty cool. And like, you know, if you make them feel that way and it really is that way, they're going to keep coming back to you. They're going to become your regulars. And word of mouth will happen. People will come in and check you out. And you'll be fine. It's not going to be fun, like I said, at all for the first couple of years. It's just not. It's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be that way. It's just everyone's scared to do it. And I understand why. But if it's something you really want to do, then you should just go ahead and do it. And I think it's something worth doing. I think it's worth investing in yourself just to see what you're capable of. Worst case scenario, you go under, you sell everything, you go back to making someone else money, and at least you understand and realize what it takes to make a business, to run a business, and you always have the "at least I tried" mentality behind it. But anyways, let me guys know if you guys have any other questions, concerns, comments, whatnot. Like, share, sub, all that good stuff. And for one thing, probably should have prefaced this at the very beginning. I'm not going to be the channel that does the hype, fake fucking energy, none of that shit. As the description says, I'm over 40. I'm tired of everyone's shit. I would much rather just be an honest, upfront individual than try to hype you up on whatever, you know? And I'm not gonna throw out videos every day either just for the sake of making a video. I have better shit to do than that, like run my shop. But if you want to find or follow someone who will just shoot the shit directly at you, no bullshit, you came to the right place. I'm not everyone's cup of tea, but, you know, not everyone is also built to just take the blunt fucking honesty. You guys have a good one. I'm gonna open up shop. Take it easy, and I'll talk to you later.